This is a lesson in how to connect a span of two notes. An octave, for example, without strain or rigidity. I like to think about this as a lesson in how to reach without reaching. Let's take a look. Before going to the keyboard, let's do a little experiment. Good. Take your arms and hands and get them out in front of you, right? Now what I want you to do is stretch out. Stretch your fingers out as far as they'll go, kind of like you're shooting lightning bolts out of the tips of your fingers. Ready? And I want you to stretch them out as far as they'll go and hold it. Really stretch, right? Yeah. And ask yourself, how does this feel? Now, if you're like me, I feel like everything is like wood, just frozen solid, right? Oh my gosh, in fact, I can't hold it anymore. In fact, if I hold it any more than that, I'm actually going to hurt myself and ruin my piano technique. So look, let's stop there, right? The lesson is this, right? Do you ever want to feel this sensation while you're playing the piano? No, of course not, right? Let's imagine what it would be like to play beautiful music like this, right? Ready? Stretch. Now play something beautiful. Oh my gosh, impossible, right? So, the lesson here is this: there's never any need to make any of these unnecessary, highly tense stretching motions at the piano. There's a better way. Let's take a closer look. Now let's try something else. So, instead of stretching our hands out, fingers out like this, just let your hands kind of wiggle them around, let them be nice and free, right? No tension, no awkwardness. And let's do this. Let's grab our thumb of our right hand with our left hand, right? And instead of stretching our hand and fingers out, let's gently pull our arm to the right. So again, anchor your right thumb with your left hand and pull your arm to the right. Now wiggle your fingers around, right? Do you notice how free this is compared to this? Ah, right. So here's some insight into how our body works. So one of the key points is this, right? If you stretch with your fingers to get somewhere, you're going to create this huge block of rigidity, right? But if you use the large muscles in your arms to get there, look how free and easy and stress-free this is, right? So, now the question is, how do we use this same idea at the piano? Let's take a look. Time for a quick anatomy lesson. What we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of a real interesting feature of our fingers, and that is these. Our fingerprints, which are more than just a clue at a crime scene, right? Fingerprints perform a very practical function, and that is this. They make our fingertips sticky. Without fingerprints, no stickiness. So what we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of this natural stickiness of our fingerprints in order to get the equivalent of anchoring with our opposite hand, right? So Let's apply this to playing an octave, right? Here, anchor with opposite hand, and we're just going to pull our arm and hand to the right. Now, anchor it. Again, pull arm and hand to the right, right? Do you see this? So the fundamental idea is this. We can anchor a finger and then use the large muscles in our arm. And by the way, our hand is attached to our arm and our fingers are attached to our hand. You move your arm and it allows you to reach. Completely devoid of tension, it allows you to reach, as opposed to not being anchored and having to splay out your hand and fingers to get where you want to go. Right? So let's play our octave again. And let's do it old school, meaning finger strength, finger dexterity, finger independence, finger endurance school of piano playing. Boo! You know where I stand on this, right? So here. So, form our octave, finger school. Look at all this tension, right? Oh my gosh, this is impossible. Now, let's use the sticky finger approach. Ready? So here, anchor, big muscles now in our arm. Gonna move everything to the right. Now anchor, now move everything to the left. Now, by the way, this applies for all your fingers, right? It doesn't have to just be your thumb or your pinky. And it also applies to any other intervals. It doesn't have to be just an octave. We can go larger than an octave, or smaller. And we can use other fingers. But the idea is always the same, right? Instead of reaching with the small muscles that control your hand and fingers, which are going to automatically cause tension and rigidity, we're going to use the big muscles in our arms to get where we need to go. So, incorporate sticky fingers, use the big muscles to get where you want to go, and enjoy the results.